Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. I can't say the website without laughing. There's something wrong with me. jasonnewland.com. My name is Jason Newland. This is Let Me Bore You to Sleep. Today is the 1st of October 2025. It is 3:55 in the afternoon. Vinny is sitting on the sofa just looking around. It's almost like he's wondering where I've gone. Where's that weird thing that I cuddle up to? That weird fat thing. I'm over here, Vinny. That weird bald fat thing. Now you're getting really personal. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. There may be background sounds, but that's standard anyway. With these recordings, sometimes there's a bit of background sound. I've got the window open. It sounds like there's someone in the garden, but you know, I don't worry so much about that because I'll stop yawning in a minute, don't worry. If I make a recording and it has to be silent, that causes me incredible stress, which is the opposite feeling to what I want to have when I'm making a recording that is supposed to be hopefully helpful for people listening to reduce your stress and anxiety and help you to relax deeply, maybe fall asleep. You know, I can't really do that if I'm like all uptight and tense or worried, you know, when's the next I don't know, the next acorn falling off the tree, because that's happening a lot at the moment. So it's quite hard to do that. Do like a very quiet recording. Now, I'm not saying that I want lots of noise in the background, because I don't. If someone started doing the lawn mowing, you know, we've got the council come around a few times a year and cut the lawn, I would stop the recording because it's very, very loud. But they're not. But they're not doing that today. I would take a guess that there's not going to be any more lawn cutting probably this year now. I think it's probably done for the year. So, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who listens to my recordings, because I had a bit of I suppose quite a difficult period, you know, I suppose during and after Uncle Sausage's situation, and I started making changes that, you know, weren't necessarily necessary. It seems a bit too many necessarities necessary there, but I made a few changes in my own life that, again, weren't particularly helpful. But things seem to have got back on track. I mean, it only really affected my podcasts for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. really. Maybe a little bit longer, and now the last week things have picked up. But that's on Spreaker. What is very, well, not strange, but kind of not like hugely surprising, but the stats on my Spreaker podcasts, because I've got two. One is Let Me Bore You to Sleep, and the other one is the sleep hypnosis thingy. The stats have gone up on them as well. So they're much higher than they were before, like on a daily basis. I think someone's cooking. It sounds to me like someone's cooking in the kitchen, which would be a place to cook, but with their window open, which is why I'm hearing it, because it sounds like they're chopping. Do you know, like that sound of like a chopping board? And I suppose when I said chopping, you knew what I meant. I mean, it's not going to be chopping wood, are they? They'll be chopping down a tree, not in the kitchen. Be a weird place to chop down a tree. So I'm just looking at the Facebook page, just see if there's anything there I can comment on. Okay. Good. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. It's just people posting stuff. So I did a Let Me Bore You to Sleep whisper this morning. Now, this hasn't really been a plan, like a purposeful plan, but I've noticed that it's quite a good start to the day if I do a sleep, Let Me Bore You to Sleep, a whisper, Let Me Bore You to Sleep. They're not normally as long, so maybe half an hour to 40, 50 minutes as the normal ones. But then the idea is just to also do, a regular one as well on the same day or later on, which would generally be longer. I mean, I think it's quite rare that I do a recording less than an hour and a half long. So, yeah, that seems to be what's happening. But also, there's quite a lot of stuff involved in the whole system, because it's not just making a recording, and it's not just editing the recording, but it's also the getting tag words, and implementing them, so inputting them into the podcasts. Also getting a description together and inputting that, and then when that's all done, posting it onto Facebook, and then when that's done, going and looking at the individual pages for each podcast and putting that into the podcast, each individual podcast, so that it can link back to the website. And then downloading all the recordings separate from the podcast and then uploading them to Spreaker. Not Spreaker, SoundCloud. That's what I meant. To SoundCloud. So there's quite a bit of stuff to do. Quite a bit. It takes a while, that's for sure, which is okay, but it's the time-consumingness. Wow. Can you believe this? So the whisper recording I did this morning, all 6 versions, So there's the recording without music, 5 hours without music, 10 hours without music, with music, 5 and 10 hours with music. Altogether, those 6 recordings come to 30 hours, 43 minutes and 18 seconds. Wow. It's quite a lot, isn't it? It's a bit too much, I think. It's a little bit too much. Okay, right, so let's have a look, see if I can put in the additional tags. So I'm only allowed 30. Right, that would do. So I'll keep that in. Save. Got to put in a date. It's the 1st. So I'm trying to put that information in for the website, or for the SoundCloud from the description. So it's just like, honestly, it's so much to do for each recording. I mean, I don't have to do it. I don't have to do the recordings, but I don't have to do all the extra stuff on top. But the idea is that by putting in a description, by putting in tag words, hopefully it will get discovered online, like with Google or Bing or wherever you search for my stuff. Because it really, I can sit here and make, well, I can't, but I can make 10 different recordings a day. I physically couldn't do that, I don't think. I mean, I could probably, but wow, I couldn't record 10 recordings and then edit them and upload them, all in one day. 10 different recordings, it's just physically not enough time in a day to do that. But even if I did, yeah, the stats will go up. More recordings will be listened to. If I did that every day, added another 10 every day, which would be 60, wouldn't it? Because there's 6 in each one. But it kind of means, I'm not saying it means nothing, but if no one's listening, then there's no point. I mean, there's never no one listening, but it'd make more sense to put time into spreading the word, or if people don't know if they don't know about these podcasts, they're not going to listen. Or if they do know about it, they're not going to listen, depending on whether they like it or not. That's why I have asked in the past to all my wonderful listeners to share what I do, to tell other people maybe, or to share my podcasts on your Facebook or on your Instagram or TikTok, Twitter, X, or even on your website if you've got one. Just maybe share what I do, let other people know. Because ultimately that's the only way, or that's the best way for me to increase my audience. Because I think now, after 8 years of doing the Let Me Bore You to Sleep podcast, it's kind of tried and tested. Of course, it's not for everyone. I mean, it is for everyone, but it's not. Not everyone's going to want to listen. I mean, I don't think such a thing would exist. But there's enough people that like it, enough people that listen regularly, to show that it has got a future, and that other people may also benefit from listening or enjoy listening to my squeaky voice. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you think. I mean, I know it's probably a bit cheeky. It's like I'm asking you to do my work for me, but I don't feel like I'm really doing that. Although maybe I am. I don't mean to be doing that. No. It's just, I don't know. Just it's probably the best way for me to increase my audience is to find a way to reach out to more people, as opposed to just hoping that Google will come across me. And also, I mean, I'm trying to do some things that are, it's a search engine optimization, and I've got a different website page for each individual recording. So every time I upload a recording, for 6 different recordings for this morning, each one's got its own website, which is quite good. So that's pretty good for like Google and stuff, and it's just a case of trying to broaden out, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Do you get me? Do you understand what I'm saying? I think I do. I can't say I necessarily do, but I think I understand what I'm saying. It just seems like a good idea to perhaps look at ways to increase traffic to my podcast or to my website. And I know that it organically happens naturally, as it has done over time. But it takes a long time for that to happen naturally. I mean, there's a reason people advertise. Because it works. Advertising works. But I can't advertise, so it's it's a free service. There's no way of really covering the cost of paying to be seen. But it is, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? But I am quite pleased with how things have started to grow again after all the messing about with, Apple Podcasts seeming to take me off their books. But that seems to be going back to normal again. I think what happened is some people looked for me elsewhere, and they found me on SoundCloud, and they found me on, let's have a look, where is it? So for today so far, they found me on, look at the sources, Podcast Addict, or Apple Core Media, Spotify. I mean, it's still quite low on Spotify, but it will grow. Alexa Media, Podcast Guru, the podcast app. Is that the iPad podcast app, or is that for the Android? iVoox, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Spreaker, AntennaPod, Castbox. So the main two is Apple Podcasts and Podcast Addict. They're the main two, then Apple Core Media. What, geolocations? You want to know who's listening today? Let's have a look. See, this is, okay, it's not strange, but it kind of is. It's unusual because the United Kingdom was always second. Pretty much always second. United States always first. I mean, there's some days it changes, but generally it's kind of overall United States is first, United Kingdom, then maybe Canada, Australia, so on. But today, United States is first, Canada is second. Only by 3 downloads, but, United Kingdom is third. So who in the United States is top? Rhode Island. Bristol in Rhode Island. So whoever you are, hello. Bristol. That's a nice pair of... I don't know if I've ever been to Bristol, actually. I've never been to Bristol. You've got Olympia, Walla Walla, Gig Harbour, California, San Mateo, Santa Clara. I'll stop there. So, Canada, Ontario, Kitchener, Nepean. They're the 2 top. And then you've got United Kingdom. So, England, Wimbledon. If you're in Wimbledon, hello. Fakenham. I don't know how the right word to say Fakenham is, because if it's got an accent, it might sound different to me. If I say Fakenham or fake, because Fake, is it fake and ham? X and ham. So then you've got Stanmore, Brent, Catterick, York, Edgware, Southwark, Sheffield, Leeds, City of London, Manchester, Whitney, Birmingham, Bristol, Devizes, Stone, Leicester, Thetford, Nottingham, and Henley-on-Thames. So they're the ones in England. Let's have a look about Scotland. Let's have a look at Scotland. Clydebank, Edinburgh, and Broxburn. So hello, my lovely Scottish people. And Chepstow in Wales. Hello, my Welsh friends. So that's it. There's lots of like Australia as well, but those were the top 2. Pretty much America, Canada, and then United Kingdom. Overall, though, that's just for today. So the last 30 days, again, going back to Apple Podcasts, number 1. Right. Let's go for geolocation. Yes. United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Ireland. So that's the top. United States number 1, United Kingdom, then Canada, Australia, Ireland, Czechia. Is it Czech? Is that the right way to pronounce it? Czechia. So Czechia. Germany, Spain, Norway, France, Sweden, New Zealand. I'm pretty sure New Zealand used to be higher up the list in the past. Maybe I'm wrong. Belgium, Mexico, Finland, the Netherlands, Denmark, South Africa, Portugal, Russia, India, Switzerland, Brazil, Greece, Japan, and also hundreds of others, so I don't know where they're not listed everywhere. So the top places, let's have a look. So we go United States, the top ones over the last month. Huntington Beach. So if you're in Huntington Beach, it's a mouthful, isn't it? I'm guessing it's near the sea. I mean, I don't know. Is it? Is it a beach? I mean, I know that sounds like a really, really silly question. But, I mean, look at Iceland. Iceland isn't cold. Greenland is the cold place. Iceland is quite warm, I think. Actually, I think I got that right. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's Greenland where you think it would be all nice and sunny, and it's cold. Do they both have polar bears? Sebastian's mentioned me in a comment. Let's have a look. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is terrible. Sunshine International Thailand's post. Retire to Thailand with Sunshine International. This is your great chance. I can't. The thing is, who they got as a promotion? I thought it was another picture of me that you'd done. Did I tell you that I did opened up this website, like, what's your age? Took a photograph of myself. 60. Told me I was 60. 60. I can't get over it. I've realised I was walking in the park earlier, taking Vinny out, for AWALK, and it dawned on me that I never forgive and I never forget. I just stopped caring. It just literally just dawned on me. I was reminded of something that used to bug me and bother me a while back, and I don't care about it anymore. I naturally just could not care. But it's not like I've purposely forgiven them. I've not forgotten it. But there's no energy there anymore. It's just, don't care. So I wonder if that's just a natural thing to happen. And maybe that happens naturally with, well, mate, I don't think it happens naturally with everyone, because I know people that super, like, hold on to stuff, but it's not like I'm trying to get rid of it or trying to hold on to it. It's just, it becomes insignificant. Zoe. Oh, yeah. Zoe. Right, sorry. Distracted, out of Facebook. So, Huntington Beach, San Jose, Woodland, Santa Clara, Mountain View. Why does that sound familiar? Do you get a view of the mountain from where you are, or is it a view from a mountain? See, could be either. So you could be on the ground and you can see a mountain, or you could be on a mountain and you can see the ground. I don't know. You can see other stuff. So it's a view from a mountain, but maybe they didn't want to do the whole sentence. View from a mountain. Not quite as catchy as mountain view. Get your mountain dew from your mountain view. I don't know. So thank you to everyone that listens to me in America. West Hollywood, San Luis Obispo, Carlsbad, Los Angeles, Richmond. They make sausages there, I think. Lawndale, Santa Barbara, Walnut Creek. That's another thing. Are there walnuts there? I know I'm being a little bit literal, but then there's got to be a reason why some places are given names. I mean, it could be called Walnut Creek because the person who built the first house or whatever was called Walnut. You know what I mean? It could have been, maybe his first name was Walnut, his surname was Creek. Because it might not actually be a creek. I'm not sure what a creek is. In fact, I do. This is a creek. My desk, that's a creaky desk. And my knees. I tried to run earlier. So I was in the park with, what's his name? And there was a couple of neighbours sort of waving. I was like, okay. Vinny wanted to go over, so they're walking quite fast. So I trot a little bit. I can't, I mean, my back doesn't allow quick movements, but I kind of take larger steps. My back's still hurting since doing it. And they said he just should have shouted over, would have stopped. I said, I thought you was busy. You looked like you was in a rush. And they said, no, I was going to the garage, that's all. So I could have just like waved to them, and they'd have come over to me. So I wouldn't have ended up in pain, baby. Glendale, Haywood, Stockton. Now, some people listen to this might be thinking, what is he on about? Why is he reading out names of places? Well, it means nothing to probably most people, these individual places, but if you live there, so if you live in Woodland, or if you live in Mountain View or Huntington Beach, it'll be like a shout out. You know? It's like, oh, Mrs. A from Huntington Beach, or Mr. L from Los Angeles, or Mrs. T from Mountain View, or Venice, Mr. T. I pity the fool. I always get muddled up between Mr. T and Arnold from Different Strokes. No, not from a weird way, just like the catchphrases, I mean. I don't fly. I ain't no flyer. I ain't no fool. I pity the fool. And what are you talking about, Willis? They've been showing Different Strokes on TV again. I can't remember when it's on. I think it's during the day. And I've seen a couple of episodes, and it was a really good show. You know? And I didn't realise why I liked it. But then you think about it, I was coming from that situation. So they came from living in a kids' home to being adopted by Mr. Drummond and living in a new family. It was different. I mean, it was a different, because it's multicultural, isn't it? So that's kind of a lot of basis on the comedy and on the predicament and stuff. But when it was on, I'd just come out of a children's home and was living with like a new family. So I guess I related to Arnold, I suppose. And I suppose my dad related to Mr. Drummond. From 1978 to 1986, so I moved into my dad's family to there in 1977. So yeah, I watched that probably, and I thought I used to use that phrase a lot. What are you talking about, Dad? What are you talking about, Mum? And you have to do the facial expressions as well. Just saying it isn't enough. You have to do the stare, and you have to wobble your head to one side. What are you talking about, Grandma? Nanny Newland? Sorry, Nanny Newland. Riverside, Simi Valley. So that's the last 30 days. Wow. So thank you everyone that's been listening to me from there. And you got, so let's have a look at the next country. United Kingdom. So we've got England. Edgware is the top. Whitney and Wimbledon. Manchester, Sheffield and London. So thank you, all of those people that are listening from those places and everywhere else in England. Scotland for the last 30 days. Glasgow. Thank you for everyone that's listening in Glasgow. You are beautiful people. Thank you. I got a thing about Scottish people. I haven't got a thing about, but I like Scottish people. I think maybe it's because one of my best friends at school was Scottish, and I do have Scottish in me, like hereditary. Sounds like some kind of disorder, doesn't it? Yeah, it's hereditary. No, I mean, I'm 48% Irish, and I think, I'm not sure how much Scottish I am, but yeah, I've got some Scots in me, which is just I mean, it's kind of, if you go far enough back, it's the Celtic thing, isn't it? Because Scottish, Irish, Welsh, there's quite a big connection, I think, between those places. I think Edinburgh, hello. Dundee, Clydesbank, Falkirk, Hamilton, Broxburn. And a few others. So I'm just going to go through quickly. Then you got Chepstow. This is in Wales. Barry. I live in Barry. Did you like that? Is that a good accent? Was it be honest, was that the best Welsh accent you've ever heard, including everyone that you ever met that's from Wales? I nearly said that's French for some reason. Wrexham, Tony Pandy. I don't know why I find that funny, that name. I've said it before, Tony Pandy. It's a cute name. Then you've got Northern Ireland, Newtownards. So hello. Oh no, Newtown Abbey, Dungannon, and then Newtownards. And you got Canada, the last 30 days, Ontario, New York, Kitchener, St Thomas. And then you got Australia. These are the top ones. Victoria. So you got Melton West and Ballarat. And Melbourne. Melbourne's the top in Australia. It's the most people, most downloads. So thank you everyone in New Zealand or Australia. Wow, forgive me, Australia. I'm thinking of New Zealand because I know someone that's just gone there. Leinster. So this is in Ireland. Leinster, which is there's Dublin, Carlow. That's where I used to live. Is there someone from Carlow listening? Someone that I used to know, like 100 years ago. I wonder, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? Whoever you are, you're now very old, just like me. Blimey. I mean, if you did, just hi. If I did meet you, the only people that I remember, like names-wise, other than Andre's parents, would be his cousins. You know, Andre was my best friend in the 90s. So, like in the early 90s, and I went and lived with him in Carlow, Ireland. Stayed at his mum and dad's house, and never had supper before. I kind of knew what it was, but I didn't really think it existed anymore. I thought it was just like one of those things that, like sending kids up cleaning chimneys, things like that were kind of in the past that people didn't really do anymore. But they did it, and it was because we had a dinner about 6:30, and about 9, we'd all go in and eat again. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it. Honestly, I mean, I don't do that now. If I eat at 6 or 7, whatever time I eat, that's it until I get up the next day. So it's usually like 11 hours between eating. And they get up in the middle of... I'm just going to make stuff up now. They get up in the middle of the night and have a nice midnight snack, then another one at 3 in the morning. They don't. But the only people I remember is... I remember Andre's family. That's it, really, as far as people. It's his mum, his dad, his sister. There's one sister that I knew better than the other, one that I knew from England, and she was with my other best friend, who I became closer with like later in the 90s and 2000s and that. So, but then the other sister, her husband, and then there was 2 cousins that Andre had, because he had quite a big family. I think he had about 3 or 4 uncles, I think. His grandmother or grandparents lived next door, lived in a house next door. It's a lovely house. It's a lovely area. It was beautiful. I kind of... Part of me wishes that I'd stuck at it. I didn't have to move. I did kind of have to get out of the house. But, you know, Andre was actively looking for somewhere for us both to live. The problem is, as far as working goes, there was 2 options, generally. Like, it would have been, I probably wasn't going to get a job. There wasn't a lot of job opportunities for me. One of the job opportunities, there was 2 places where, not that it's famous for, but there was 2 big employers in the town. One was a dry cleaning place, like a huge dry cleaning place. Now, I don't know if they just did dry cleaning for other parts of Ireland. So it was a big old place. I'd worked in a dry cleaners before, and I knew how hot it gets. I didn't fancy that. I just did not fancy being around steam all day long. Just didn't do it for me. And I did go for an interview there. And I went for but I can't even tell you. I went for an interview. The job centre sent me to this one because I'd worked in a place that processed meat. They sent me to the second place, which was their biggest employer, or the second or first biggest employer. And they also processed meat. So I went along. I had no idea what I was walking into. It was an abattoir. So they really processed right from beginning to end. And I couldn't. Couldn't do it. Couldn't, shouldn't, I don't know. I just couldn't. It wasn't for me. So I really didn't know what to do, because I couldn't really be getting a job in a bar or a pub, because I don't think being English would have been particularly... I think they put up with me, but I don't think they'd want me behind the bar. I think it would be annoying, maybe. I don't know. Just... Plus, I'm useless behind a bar. I wasn't any good. I was okay behind the other side of the bar, but behind the bar, serving, no. And also, yeah, I'm going to be honest, I didn't always find it easy to understand what everyone was saying. And it's okay when the person you're with is sober and they understand that you're, from England, and they kind of maybe, if they care enough, they may slow down what they're saying a little bit, just to accommodate, just to be kind, just to be generous, just to be nice. And all those other words. But a drunk person possibly isn't going to be too impressed if they have to keep repeating themselves. I know, because even in England, I've worked in pubs where I've asked people to repeat themselves and they didn't like it. I remember my manager saying, "Why do you keep asking them to repeat themselves? Don't you understand them the first time?" I said, "Yeah, I know, it just annoys them." But I was young. I was silly back then. I was a silly Billy. I don't know what other jobs I could have applied for. There might have been something out there. So I did leave. When I left, there's a reason I left. There's a couple of reasons I left. So the other two people I met, I met all of his uncles when I was there. Not like, I think I only met one to say hello to. I think I was drinking with one of them. But the other two, I think there was another two, or maybe another one or two or three, I kind of seen, but I didn't sort of speak to them. I didn't know them to talk to. But the other two cousins he had, they were brother and sister. And they were lovely. They were really nice as well. They were he was like a gentle giant. He was huge, strong, probably 19, 20, 21 maybe years old. But he was absolute mountain of a man. And it was weird, because I remember I was in town in the coffee place, and the whole place went dark. And I looked around, and he was standing in the doorway. He took up the whole door. You almost had to walk in the door sideways, because he was so broad. And so he was really nice. I got on with him. He was friendly. And then his sister as well, got on really well with her. And she did give me some time. She gave me time, talked to me, and sat with me and in the pubs and stuff. And I did start to have feelings for her, I'll be honest. But it wasn't like lustful or anything. It was just, I just thought she was just lovely. Just really liked her. Liked the way she sounded, liked the way she talked, the way she looked, the way she was just nice, just really nice. And she was, I don't know, probably 19, 20, I don't know. I was 24 at this point. Yeah, I was just turned 24. But I couldn't ask her out. And I was worried to ask her out. Because firstly, if she says no, that's the main thing. Secondly, what if her brother don't like it? Being like 5 times bigger than me. What if her dad don't like it? What if Andre don't like it? The idea of me dating his cousin. What if Andre's mum and dad don't like it? So I I didn't want to step on people's toes, but at the same time I really liked her. And I did date one person out there that was, but she was like a witch. I don't mean it in a kind of a bad way. Or she was into some kind of ritualistic, not demonology, I don't know, some kind of thingy. Because we met up, I met her in a library, and we went out for a meal, went out to watch a movie and everything. I just sort of asked her out, she said yeah, and we went for a long walk, and I just couldn't get her on my own, get her on her own I mean, I went around their house, her mum was there, and I couldn't get her on me. I don't mean that in a bad way, just some alone time. You know, some one-on-one time to talk and to, you know, be together and that. And then I see her in town. I think I meet up with her in town to have some lunch, and she says to me, do you want to go and do... She wanted to go somewhere. She asked me if I could go somewhere with her. I said, what's that? And she said, well, we're having this thing tomorrow night. And she said, I should let you know that I'm part of a coven or something. And we're going to meet in the forest. And we're going to be having some ceremony. And I'll be honest with you, as soon as she said that, I pictured myself on top of a big concrete slab, you know, a bit like Aslam from, you know, from the old Witch in the Wardrobe situation. And I was thinking, no, I don't want to be a sacrifice. I'm not in the mood for that right now, thanks. I didn't come to Ireland for that. No. I like you, but not that much. I didn't say that to her. I was too scared. And I thought, do you want to go in the middle of the forest where nobody is going to hear us? She said, yeah. I said, okay, I'll get back to you. That's part of the reason I left, because I was very scared. And then that night, I went out drinking with Andre in town. We got a lift. This is weird. We got a lift in with his mum and his gran and I think his mum's friend or his whatever. Me, Andre, his nan was in the front and his mum was driving. We're going down to the town centre. On the way, they saw someone walking because they were going to bingo, or someone waiting for a bus. So they gave her a lift. So she gets in. Andre sits on my lap. So we're giggling, of course. And I say to Andre, oh, mate, what's going on? You put on weight since the last time we did this. Or, you know, I was implying that he sits on my lap a lot. So we laugh and no one else does. And we can't stop laughing because it was very funny. It was very weird. I just, you know, I'm not used to having anyone on my lap, really. And so we get into town. I think it's a Friday night. It might be in a Saturday night. So we're just going around the pubs. There's a lot of pubs in that. Well, when I was there, a lot of different pubs. And then before we'd been there, we'd go off to a nightclub. But I don't think we were doing it this time. And there was hundreds of people just hanging around the streets. So it's kind of weird because Andre's cousin, the boy, the man, someone came up to him. So he was with us, so we were all together. Him, his sister, Andre, me, I think his other two cousins, maybe his uncle, maybe a few other friends. So we were kind of all together, just walking down the street or just standing there just chatting. And another big lad comes up to Andre's cousin and starts having a go at him. Starts saying, oh, remember when you think you're tough? And so it's that kind of drunk silliness, yeah. And the response, Andre's cousin responded reacted in a way that would probably be, you'd imagine how it would go. So they started having a punch up. Before you knew it, the whole street was full of people fighting each other. I've never in my life never before or since, seen anything like that. Not only that, not one person came near me. They didn't know me. They didn't have an issue with me. It's almost like they kept these issues hidden inside and were nice to each other throughout the week, and then on the weekend they'd sort out their problems. It was weird. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm guessing they probably the next day, they just all went back to normal life and didn't think about it. But honestly, I've never seen like that many people. There must have been at least 50 people fighting each other. I mean, I'm not even, it sounds like an exaggeration, but it's not. It was generally one-on-one. It was almost like Strictly Come Dancing, but with punches. Like, everyone just matched up, and I mean, I was just shaking. I was very confused, and if I'm honest, I probably was very scared as well. But my main concern, all the girls were just watching. I don't think any of the girls got involved. The boys stuck to themselves and that. And then my concern was Andre, because I lost track of where everything was, because everything turned a bit weird. A lot of noise, a lot of shouting. And I look at Andre, and he's in the middle of, he's got someone against again, I don't know why, Andre's having a punch up. He's got someone against the door, like a car. And the police turn up. The two police are in there within about a few minutes. The police turn up, and this policeman grabs Andre, and Andre turns around to punch him, and he looks up, because Andre's about my height, about 5'8". He looked up, and this bloke was about 6'5", huge man, and he just calmed down straight away. In fact, everybody calmed down as soon as they saw, what do they call the police out there? Oh man, I've forgotten the name. It's not police, it's the guard. The Gardaí. I think that's right, the Gardaí. I'm going back to 1994, so I can't say what happens now or what happened before, but they didn't employ small people. There was no short police, not in that town anyway. I never saw a short person. Huge men. I mean, I've seen situations where police are trying to take someone down and they just can't physically do it because they're too small. And it's kind of funny to watch, as long as no one gets hurt, obviously. But I remember that 20-odd years ago, 25 years ago, maybe longer, I was in the West End, and just near a bookshop, between a bookshop and something else. It was round a corner from Tottenham Court Road. Maybe it was Tottenham Court Road, the actual road. But it was around a corner from that station where Foyles was. So it would be opposite Foyles, but just before Blackwell's would be further up on the left. And then you got the theatres and stuff a little bit further up. Was it Books, etc.? I think. Anyway, there was this alleyway. It was like a dead end. And there was all this kerfuffle. So I'm kind of walking along. There's this big crowd gathered. And this is before mobile phones were a thing. Not I mean cameras. I mean, so there was no one taking photographs or taking videos or anything, because they didn't. Mobile phones didn't have videos back then. And there was these two police women trying to arrest a man, and it was like one of those old black and white movies, Harold Lloyd or Lauren Hardy, where or is it the Keystone Cops, where they just kept falling over. No one was getting hurt, because there's no way in the world I'd stand and watch someone get hurt. But it was funny to watch, because I knew that any second there was going to be Metropolitan Police would be there, and there would be like 30, 40 officers, because they really come in heavy-handed when they do come in. So these two bobbies were on the beat, because in the old days we used to have police walking around the streets. Don't have that anymore. Maybe in cities or towns sometimes, but generally it's not really a thing anymore. And I imagine in the future, when it comes to any kind of need in the police or anything, I'll have to send an email in advance. If you need an ambulance, you just have to book it. I'm going to need an ambulance next Thursday. Yeah. It's getting that way. So anyway, I was watching these two police ladies they're basically trying to put handcuffs on this man. And I'm ready to jump in. I didn't want to get involved, because I'm not a police person, and jumping in, if they had it under control, it could almost make it worse. But if he'd have put his hands on any of them, I would have got involved and helped to subdue him, or if he'd hurt them or anything. I'm just saying that because I'm not going to watch someone get hurt. I'm not quite like that. In the same way as I wouldn't really want to watch the police doing it either. But it was funny to watch, because they literally were just falling over. They were all taking turns to fall over, and all you needed was some squeaky sounds like it's just some weird music over it, black and white film, a little crusty, bit. The old black and white movies that weren't like, they had like black dots sparkling on them and that, lines and stuff. So yeah. I mean, I didn't consider the fact that he might have been armed, but again, back in them days, it wasn't like a regular thing. Not that no one ever had anything, but it wasn't like a... I mean, these days, you go out and it's like a regular thing. Have you got your shoes? Have I got a wallet? Have you got your car keys? Yeah. Balaclava? Zombie knife? Yeah, excellent. It's like just those things that people take out with them on a night out now. Like a standard thing. In the past, it used to be a condom. Maybe. You know what? If you ever wonder whether or not condoms have expiry dates and what happens to them if you don't use them within the expiry date, I can tell you. Because it happened to me once. And they actually disintegrate inside the packet. That oil or lubricant does not stay lubricant forever. And I had this, little Johnny, rubber Johnny in my wallet for years. I mean, obviously, it worked to a degree because my wallet never got pregnant. Vinny, why are you squealing? He wants my attention. What do you want my attention? Why are you going? What, baby? My local pizza parlour burnt down the other day. say local, I mean, I can't go there but get deliveries. If I was in a car, I could get there easily, but I don't have a car and I can't drive. And the bus doesn't go to that particular estate, industrial estate where it lives. I think Vinny just wants my attention. Did you just want Daddy's attention? Oh, did you want Daddy's attention? Daddy Kinsey's attention. We'll go out in an hour. Go out at 6 o'clock. It's too early now. We've already been out twice. I mean, literally, we went out, what did we get back? 2 o'clock? So it's only 3 hours ago. I just thought it'd be quite nice to have scrambled eggs on toast. Isn't that a weird idea? Not a weird idea, but it just came into my mind. Scrambled eggs on toast. That sounds quite appealing. Anyway, what happened in the end is with Carlo, so I had this, it was a mixture of things. I couldn't get a job, or I had two choices of jobs, one working in a slaughterhouse, one working in basically an oven, 24 hours, it's like doing ironing, or, it's just like super hot. And if I did live somewhere, I'd be sharing a room, basically, with Andre. And the idea of sharing a room with anyone didn't really appeal to me, to be honest. I like a bit of space. Andre's mum kind of wanted me out. I'd overstayed my welcome, which is fair enough. I'd overstayed my welcome. So I kind of knew I needed to get out. And then that whole thing, that street riot punch-up thing, that was like, wow. Bearing in mind, I've been living in East London for years. I'd never seen anything like that. That was just really, really like, what? And then I see Andre's cousin, the female cousin, the one that I liked, with a bloke. I think they were just holding hands or kissing or something. So it was probably just her boyfriend. I didn't know she had a boyfriend, and that was it. And also knowing that, I was scared to go into the forest as well because of the other lady sacrificing and that. So I just getting out of here. But saying that, it's a lovely place to visit. I'm maybe not great for the tourist board. This was a long, 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 long time ago. It was like 31 years ago. So come on. A lot's happened since then. It was a beautiful town, and the people were friendly. And yeah, Ireland is an amazing country. Plus I'm 48% Irish. I don't know if I mentioned that. So thank you for visiting, for listening. So basically, Dublin and Carlo are the two top places in Ireland to listen. Chechia, I don't know where is Czechia. Prague. So Prague is where I get the most listens from, Chechia. So if you're in Prague, hello. Then Germany, the most places, Bavaria, and it's Munich. I'm wondering if that's Sebastian in Munich. I think that's where he lives. I'm not sure. He's always listening. So I'm just saying, who else? Last 30 days. Location. What other countries? Spain. Espanol. Madrid. is the top place. So we've got Madrid, El Escorial and others. So Madrid is the top place there. And then Catalonia, second. And then Marbella. Norway. Oslo County is Oslo. So whoever's in Oslo, hello. Oslo County, how are you? All regions. And in Vestland, Burskrud, Rogaland, Morgolzine, Osfold, Cholstalag. Where is the place in Norway where they had the Winter Olympics? Because I want to go and live there, or at least visit. And there was that TV show with the bloke from The Sopranos. Really loved that show. And there was just something, I'm just looking, I can't see where it is, what the place, yeah. France, L-L-E de France. Where is that then? So that's where Paris is a top place in France that listen to me. Bagnolet, then Suresnes, Montreuil, Van Ves and Argenteuil. So thank you everyone in France that listened to me. Then Sweden, Uppsala County. Uppsala. So yeah, Uppsala County. Why does that sound familiar? Stockholm County. Västra Götaland County. A lot of counties. So thank you everyone in Sweden. New Zealand. Auckland. So thank you everyone in Auckland, because that's the main place where people listen to me in New Zealand. Hamilton. And Dunedin. Then you've got Belgium. Flanders, so thank you for listening to me, everyone in Flanders. Antwerp, Bochout and Haltert. They're the main places. Mexico. So, blimey, got a lot of places in Mexico listen to me. There's a lot. So, Querétaro City, San Juan del Rio. So, Querétaro is the main one. Then Veracruz. So, Ixtapa and Coatzacoalcos. It's not easy to say, is it, some of these words? Not for me. This is something I still don't understand. You've got Mexico in Mexico. So you've got Toluca. I've heard of Toluca. Chiconcuac. Ciudad Nezahualcoyotl. Cayutit. Lan is Cali. Yeah. I apologise if my pronunciations are incorrect. Finland, so Uusimaa, Helsinki. So that's the top, Helsinki and Espoo. So that's my favourite name out of all of them. Thank you. Then you've got Southwest Finland. Turku. So thank you everyone in Finland that listens. The Netherlands, you got South Holland, The Hague. So The Hague is the top one, top downloads. Gorinchem, Alphen, Schiedam, I'm even putting an accent on. I'm quite pleased with myself. I'm very proud. Scheidman, Rotterdam, Newland. So yeah, thank you for listening. Those of you that are. And then Denmark, capital region, Van Loos. So Van Loos is the top one as far as the amount of people. Copenhagen, Frederiksberg, Rodrovo municipality, and then Glostrup municipality. So thank you everyone in Denmark. And then where we got South Africa, so you got Gauteng, Johannesburg. Thank you for anyone in Johannesburg, or everyone in Johannesburg, and Benoni, Pretoria, Centurion, Kempton Park, Germiston. So thank you everyone for listening in South Africa. Portugal, the most view are from Elvis, not Elvis but Elvas. So thank you everyone that's listening in Portugal. Then you got Russia, Vladimir Olbast. So that's the get the most views there, and it's Vladimir. So that's the place. Then you got Moscow and Yekaterinburg and Rostov-on-Don. Yeah, so welcome. India. I kind of wish I had more people in India and China, just because how big the audience is. That's over a billion people. It was, if I could get more people listening in India. So if you're listening in India, please share my podcasts. Please share my podcast. Or if you're listening in China or Russia or anywhere really, but some of these really big countries, can you imagine I could get millions of people listening every day? It'd be wonderful. You got Karnataka, Bengaluru. That's the top one in India. And you've got Mumbai, Pune, Chinchvad, Kerala, Kollam, Kochi. So that's sort of India, and so there's lots of different places in India. So thank you for listening. Then there's Switzerland. You got Bern, Torfellen. That's the top place. No, right, that's right. Gwat is a top place. Then Guafellen and Sewell. There's a few different places. So thank you everyone in Switzerland. Brazil. Lots of places listen to me in Brazil. The top one is Sao Paulo. So you got Sao Paulo, Atibaia and Jundia, or Junday. So thank you everyone in Brazil that listens to me. Then you got Greece. We got Attica. Athens is the top place, near Smyrna or Smyrna, and Korydallos. You know, I think I just pronounced that correctly by accident. Korydallos. So thank you for everyone in Greece that listens to me. And lastly, I've got Japan. So Tokyo is the main place. Edogawa, and then Kawasaki. There's quite a few different places. Akita, Higogo, Suzuka rather, Tokyo. So thank you for everyone in Japan that listens to me. You are indeed super groovy. In fact, you're part of the Groovy Club for listening to me. This has been a very joyful recording, saying thank you to everyone. Now, I think that's quite important to do that sometimes, because I am grateful. I'm grateful. I am. I'm grateful for people that listen, because if you didn't listen, there'd be absolutely no reason for me to make these recordings if no one listened. It would really just be a little bit pointless. But thankfully people do listen. So this is for everyone. I mean, bearing in mind we've missed out a whole group of people, which is on SoundCloud. So if we go to a profile, SoundCloud, Insights, last 30 days, if I go to top listeners, top locations, so there's been the last 30 days 10,180 listens or downloads on one of the SoundCloud podcasts, the Let Me Boy to Sleep one. So the top places, the top countries: United States, United Kingdom, Ireland, Germany, Australia, Canada, France, Norway, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Brazil, Russian Federation, Puerto Rico, Vietnam, South Africa, Bangladesh, Netherlands, Denmark, Spain, Thailand, Poland, Croatia, Sweden, Italy, Czech Republic, Japan, Portugal, Cambodia, Pakistan, Belarus, India, Indonesia, Togo. That's quite a few. It's quite a few countries, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So it's 34 different countries are listening to my recordings on that one podcast. And as far as cities go, Council Bluffs. So the top, as in cities, the top one is Council Bluffs. Then Boardman, so this is all in United States. Salt Lake City, Ashburn and Sandy. Then, is that Sandy Hooks? Is that a place? And then you've got St Helens in the UK, then Dublin, Hackney, Manchester in the UK, Melbourne, and then Leicester, then Falkenstein, which is Germany, yep. Then go back to America again, so you've got Phoenix, Philadelphia, Columbus, Portland, Streamwood, West Springfield. Then back to the UK again, Birmingham, Winnipeg, which is in Canada, Chicago in America. Then you got Wilgen, Schweppingen, Willingen, Schwenningen, and that's Germany. Then UK again with Huntingdon, Stirling in America, Nez in Norway. It's flags. I'm just trying to check the flags. I'm no expert on flags, although I did used to have a book of flags when I was a kid. And I don't know if is it a Ladybird book of flags, but it was a little book, like really little book. And inside was just flags, really, but from every country. And a lot of the flags are quite similar, or some of them are quite similar. Sort of, you got like the black, red, yellow. That can be, the black, red, yellow is in more than just one, but it's just a different order. So it's Germany, but then you've got black, red, yellow. Okay, can't find one. Maybe I made it up. Penticton, Kuala Lumpur, Penticton. Where's that? Penticton. That's in Canada. Kihi in America. You got Frankfurt am Main, Germany. Lydney in UK. I've got no idea where Lydney is. But then it's saying UK, so it could be Scotland, could be Wales, could be Northern Ireland, I don't know. Or England, of course. Then you got City of Muntinlupa, which is Philippines. So, welcome to all these different countries, by the way. All these different towns, cities, villages, wherever you are. Oslo, Berwick, Swindon, Lakefield, Singapore, Horton, Brisbane, Stockton-on-Tees, Wiley, Englewood, Northville, Livonia, Phoenixville, Salford, Trondheim. I'm just thinking, where's my Newcastle people? I normally have a few more from Newcastle on my normal stats. United Kingdom, England. Where's Newcastle upon Tyne? It's way down now. Where have you gone? In the last 30 days, it's less. I think it's usually near the top in England, but this last 30 days has been Edgware. Let's have a look. I want to see if I was correct in my memory. So let's say the last 12 months, yeah. The last 12 months, England. Yeah, so Newcastle on Tyne is being third. Sidcup is first. Bristol is second. Never been to Bristol. Is it true what they say about the ladies in Bristol? Do they all have a Bristolian accent? Do they have an accent? I don't know. I've never met anyone, but I've heard the accent's quite strong. Because isn't it like near? Is it on the way to Wales, Bristol? I'm not sure. What did you think I was going to say when I said, is it true what they say about the women in Bristol? What did you think I was going to say? Of course I'm not going to say anything rude, am I? Blimey. Newcastle upon Tyne is third down. Going down. Birmingham. There's not a lot of difference, to be fair, between Birmingham and Newcastle upon Tyne. Hartlepool's a little bit down, Cambridge. So it's not a huge difference. I mean, if I customise and then go back, if I just keep going back, no, it's not allowing me to go back very far, which is annoying. Why won't it let me go back further? Custom. Oh, now it might. Nope. It's only let me go back 1 year. That's just ridiculous. Let me go 1 year. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to see how many this year, just so far this year. Who's the top? So in England, it's the same. Sidcup is a top in England this year. Bristol, Newcastle upon Tyne, Birmingham, Cambridge, Hartlepool. And then you've got Great Yarmouth. There's a lot of places, to be fair. Newham. That's where I used to live. A long, long time ago, I used to live in Newham. Hackney. Scotland. Who's atop this year? Glasgow and Edinburgh. And then Falkirk, Grangemouth, Motherwell, Dundee, Penicuik and Aberdeen. Livingston, Hamilton, Bo'ness. Wales, Chepstow, Wrexham. Chepstow, isn't Chepstow kind of just on the border of Wales and England? Like just kind of before the border or something, I don't know. Wrexham, Caerphilly, Pembroke Dock. Is it a dock? Is it an actual dock? Is there like water and ships and stuff? And you might wonder why I'm asking this, but I'm just trying to learn a bit. Trying to improve my knowledge. Cardiff. And then you've got Northern Ireland, Ballymena, Belfast, Cookstown, Dungannon. So that's the top in the United Kingdom. Then you got in America, California as the top. Los Angeles is the top, complete top. Napa and Mountain View in third. Then San Jose and Woodland. So thank you, everyone. This is for the last year. British Columbia in Canada. Qualicum Beach. So I suppose it's kind of similar to the last month. So kind of, yeah, this year. I wonder if I can Google what the stats for the last 12 months. The last 12 months, United States, United Kingdom. On here, the last 12 months is 96,738 plays. On Spreaker, that's on the SoundCloud, Let Me Boy to Sleep. On Spreaker, it's £306. Oh, wait a minute. Last 12 months. 359,821. So, what was that? 300, 450, roughly. Oh, it's not a huge amount, but it's still nice. United States of America, United Kingdom, Germany, Australia. This is on SoundCloud. France, Sweden. I wonder, so if I go into the other podcast on SoundCloud, I wonder what that will come up as, because that, I do believe, is even... It's starting to get dark already. This is ridiculous. Right. Me. Really? This is weird. Sorry, I'm just trying to do something. Alright, it's gone in. So I'm just looking at the stats for the last 30 days. 7,230. This is I don't know what the name is. What's the profile? Hypnosis for Sleeping Deeply. So that's the other SoundCloud podcast. So if I look at these stats, well, they call it insights. So I go down for the last 12 months. 229,988. So what was that? 550, 650, 750, 770. So nearly 800. I mean, that's the last 12 months. So getting on to 800,000 between the podcasts, the different podcasts. So that's pretty good. Top places here. Top countries: United States of America, United Kingdom, Sweden, Australia, Canada, Germany, Ireland, Philippines, Spain, France, Mexico, New Zealand, Argentina, India, Belgium. So there's a lot. I won't read them all out. There's quite a few. There's loads. South Korea. I don't think I had. Israel, Chad, Ukraine, Portugal, Switzerland, Vietnam, Ghana, Brazil, Finland, Egypt, Kuwait, Japan, Pakistan. And then in the towns or the cities, Boardman in America, I don't know where that is. Trowbridge in the UK, I don't know where that is. Melbourne in Australia. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then Stockholm, then Sydney, National City, Falkenstein, Chicago, Toronto, and Sudbury, and then Phoenix, San Jose, Portland, Romeo, Dickinson, North Bergen, Ashburn, Oakland, Dublin, Wallsend. There's a lot. I can't go through all of them. There's so many. All time on this one, 2.5 million. That's not bad, is it? It's 2.5 million on this podcast. That's from downloads. So America 1.23 million, United Kingdom 438,000, Australia 207,000, Turkey 168,000, Canada 120,000 listens to the recordings. This is Sweden 56,000, France 31,000, Denmark 28.8 thousand, Ireland 24.7 thousand, New Zealand 17.9 thousand, United Arab Emirates 16.6 thousand, Germany 15.6 thousand. Compare this to just the last 12 months. United States of America 97.5 thousand. So just this, where would I go back to? I want to go back and see if I can see that. So go back to the stats. So if I go all time, it should give me, okay, so that's part of 2003, all of 2004 and 2005 so far. 2004 had 1.8 million on that podcast, but for quite a lot of 2004 this was my main podcast, not Spreaker. That's why I've got so many on there. Wow. I'll tell you what's weird is, well, it's not weird, but telling me what my most plays I've had in 2004, and really I don't know why these podcasts took off. Not on Spreaker, not on my normal podcast, but on SoundCloud. I did 2 recordings after my friend passed away a couple of years ago, nearly a couple of years ago, in less than 2 months. And it was called Help with Addiction. And I recorded this. This is the second one, called Friends. And I called it Friends. And it was on the 1st of February 2024. It's had 14,214 plays. I do believe that's the most any of my podcasts have had, as far as being listened to. Wow, that's quite a lot, isn't it? 14,000 all time. Let's see if I can just go and find it. Okay, yeah. And then second is, it's Boxing Time. That was Let Me Bore You to Sleep. 10 hours. It's 1,062. So that had 8,651 plays. And then the third is Flappy Ears by Vinny. The Flappy Ears song. Trivia Tuesday, Australia, Let Me Bore You to Sleep. And it was number 1,204. And that's had 3,758 plays. So maybe it got listened to in Australia. I don't know. Now, I realise I haven't done either boring objects on Monday or Trivia Tuesday this week. And I've had other things going on this week, so I'm hoping to get back to that routine next week. But I will be doing Q&A Friday, and I realise it's probably... Why are you making weird noises? You're not hungry. Are you hungry? He can't. Maybe he does want to go out. Do you want to go out? Always. I don't think there's any time that he doesn't want to go out. Yeah, so I probably would be better mentioning the Q&A Friday at the beginning of the recording rather at the end when you might be asleep. But if you've got any questions, just please go to my Jason Newland's Boring Group on Facebook, and there's a place there you can just leave your question, and I will do my bestest to answer it. It might not be a very good answer, but it will be something. So I'm going to go. I want to say thank you for listening, and that's what this recording is all about today. I'm just saying thank you for listening, wherever you are in the world, whatever your age, whatever your sex, whatever, anything, how tall you are, doesn't matter, anything, whoever you are, just thank you, because you listening to my recordings helps me more than you'll ever know. And so I just want to say thank you, because I know stats are boring for some people, but for me, it kind of, I suppose it gives me maybe a sense of self-worth, I don't know, or it gives me the feeling that I'm doing something worthwhile, that it's useful. Vinny stopped making his squeaky sounds, which is nice. So I'm going to go. So I'd just like to say thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you do deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye.